can kill me, but you will never destroy me. It takes strength to resist the dark side.
Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one.
Are you kidding? Why the hell should I wait for you?
I know what it's like to try and rebuild a life. I had a bad day too, once.
If you're having nightmares, then welcome to the club. My name's Subaru Natsuki, and I am the Knight of Amelia.
Right now, all I can give you is just death.
It wasn't for you in particular.
You fought 100 men because it's not in your nature to run away.
If you are feeling disheartened, that you are somehow not enough, set your heart ablaze.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a week, but I'm here to do all the wrap up and shit and just... Oh god, did my camera just go? Really? I tap one chord and my camera goes out right off the bat. This is off to an excellent start. Let's see if I can... There we go. All right. Let's retry that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of the week, and it certainly has been one. My Hero is about 3 chapters from wrapping up. Jujutsu Kaisen, yeah. The fan-made Berserk adaptation, The Black Swordsman, finally has a trailer, and it looks fucking nuts. And a whole bunch of other stuff. That being said, should probably scroll over. Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, it's not as good as anything that Rolo has produced. My edits are not nearly as good as his, but I think he's been doing it for much longer than I have. Still, I mean, that was something I spent all day finding the specific footage for and figuring out how to cut background footage out of clips for some of my favorite moments in cartoons and anime. Yeah, the Rolo Rome cast intro is pretty... Look, I have a lot of respect seeing dudes like Ivan Ortega over at Weebs and Waifus, and what Rolo does, with their edits and stuff. And as far as edits go, I feel really, really proud of my latest video, my review of Shangri-La Frontier. I spent a lot of time putting all the memes and the editing, finishing touches on it. I was anal about this one in a way that I normally wouldn't be. And, well, it was really well received proportionally to, other videos. It hasn't received as many views, maybe, as a normal video would. I think my... I don't actually have that much talent. Look, I'm not nearly as good as proper freelance editors. I'm not kidding here. I would say I'm probably okay. But that's just because I focus all of my free time into one specific project. And my goal is a little bit of improvement on every one. And I do want to make a new intro at some point for this, but for now, I am sticking with that. Waiting for Rolo to show up to really get into some of these things, but it's kind of just going to be a chill thing, going over memes and silly internet stuff and anime/cartoon banter and all that. There is some stuff about the adult cartoons that I want to get to, and there is one article I found about how everyone will die if they get rid of fan service. Oh, speak of the devil. Let's hold on. I think I have something for this. Where is it?
Basically, if you don't have a penis, don't hit on me.
Why the heck was it freezing up? Was it freezing up on your end too?
No, it was not.
Huh. My computer
Alright.
absolutely locked up for some reason.
Oh, it's working
It
for
might
me
be the
fine.
fact that I am dual screening a laptop and there are shit
That
shit going
probably
on.
has to do with it.
How current? So the first thing I gotta ask is how current are you on Jujutsu Kaisen?
The manga? Not. Oh, now you're frozen. Shit. Now he's actually
Okay,
frozen.
my internet is really. Yeah, my internet. Yeah, my internet is like taking a shit right now. Let me see if I can do something on the back end for that.
Yeah. Work that back
Kill
in.
that. Dear God. It doesn't help that my computer might be a little taxed right now because before this I was trying to catch up on anime. So I did manage to catch up on 2 that I am really loving. Kaiju number 8, episode
Yeah, I need to
6
watch
just
that.
recently came out. And Delicious in Dungeon, which
Delicious in Dungeon's on Netflix now, isn't it?
That's where it premieres, yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, it sucks because Netflix and Disney anime just don't get the attention that they deserve, even though some of them are absolute fucking bangers. Like one that actually just recently won like anime of the year for certain awards for shows, Heavenly Delusion. I love that series, only available on Disney Plus.
In another country.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's literally going to be kind of a chill night. I have one like article and then a bunch of like small, like random little like anime banter topics.
Cool.
A trailer and some indie stuff to cover.
Nice.
But okay, let me get rid of that. Try and close out as many of these tabs as possible. The issue is I have a lot of like things on Twitter, and some of them are in like a good chunk of them are videos, and well, that's 2 layers of problem playing video. So we'll see how that goes either way.
There we go.
How about we start off so remember how last time we were on here, I brought up that whole thing on Twitter about who would win, Sukuna or Endeavor?
Yeah.
Well, some interesting things happened at the beginning of the week. Yeah, so who would you pick in a fight? Sukuna or All Might?
Still Sukuna.
I would too, but at least that one's like a little bit closer of a fight. I don't know how like physical durability factors into like cleave and dismantle. Doesn't seem like it does much.
No, because like think of some of the characters that Sukuna could just delete. Like if he wanted to.
He has no problem just like flicking a finger and dismantling concrete.
Yeah, like I think All Might could just as easily get dismantled.
Yeah, here's the kicker though is All Might, not even in his prime, has a power output that is equal to like Sukuna's best with what they can do to the surrounding area. In the first episode, All Might changed the fucking weather with a punch. So
that's true.
I'd say All Might has a chance by landing a good shot to the face, but All Might doesn't kill right off the bat.
No, he would have to know what he's going up against, and
he would have to know to kill instantly, and he would try to stop Sukuna. And the moment Sukuna realized he has a chance, he would slice the dude into bits.
Yeah, but also Sukuna is arguably faster than All Might.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make this like a regular segment to just find some like random like internet thing where like people ask who would win in a fight, such and such or such and such, and just.
Well, to bring it back to this conversation we had last week, that's another good one. Okay, Kenpachi versus All Might is a much better matchup, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one would be interesting. That one would be very, very interesting.
Just because of the fact that the two of them.
There
assuming
is
it's
a
peak
there is
almost-
another fight out of Jujutsu Kaisen that caused a whole lot of funny takes from people.
Okay.
And I want to hear what you think about this. Who would win in a fight? I just knocked over a can. Who would win in a fight? Gojo or Goku?
Hmm. I mean, you'd have to assume that's pretty even.
It's a lot more interesting than what people want to make it out to be. So,
I mean, you would have to assume eventually Goku, right? Eventually.
yes.
Or they would just
I
be
would
at a
agree.
stalemate forever.
No, not necessarily. So, here's basically what I found out. Gojo would actually win easy up against Goku all the way to after Planet Namek. Once Goku learns instant transmission, that's when things get tricky. Because here's the thing: after, like, once it gets to like Planet Namek, I don't think Gojo actually has the like power output to do any damage, any
Right.
significant damage to Goku. But he can win by using his domain, which just fries Goku's brain, and that's it.
Goku doesn't think like that, though.
It doesn't matter. Sensory overload still affects him.
I suppose.
It's the whole reason that people freeze up in Infinite Void is because their brain is forcibly pumped with all the information in the world. Whether you're stupid or not, or you just don't think, it still affects you.
I mean, however, though, Goku is physically still too strong, though. So he would have to keep him in Infinite Void.
No, once it's deployed, it takes full effect. Goku's just stuck there.
Yeah, but he
Gojo
would have
can't
to-
really do anything to Goku.
Yeah, like he can't pop his head off like he did to Jogo.
Yeah, but it's technically a win because Goku's not going to recover from that outside of using the Dragon Balls or a Sensu Bean.
Exactly.
But once he learns instant transmission, he has an easy escape from all of that. Which, you know, given Goku's speed and all of that, I think he'd be able to get it off.
Yeah.
But after
But
that
still,
point, you
he
start
would
getting
touch-
into Super.
He still wouldn't be able to touch Gojo, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. Is once you get into Super, Goku actually has two techniques that bypass Infinity. Which a lot of people argued that hacks, or that in Dragon Ball, being strong bypasses hacks, which is just stupid. That's an argument that, hey, my power system sucks, and eliminates any reason to have creative cool powers or abilities.
Pretty much.
That's not what happened. They reference hit. What happened was Goku was actually forcibly like time skipping and all of that. However, in the manga for Super, Goku can use Hakai, which just instantly destroys a target. It doesn't have to travel. And he can also use telekinesis, which would also bypass Infinity.
Yeah. That's why I said, like, one would have to assume that eventually it would be Goku. It would be a long fight, but eventually,
yeah,
Goku would just. I mean,
there's no.
Well, here's the thing. At that point, Goku can literally just nuke the planet. You think Gojo's surviving in space?
No, probably not.
Probably not, right? He still has to breathe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my argument is that Goku doesn't have any direct lines of attack, but his win cons are far easier to achieve.
Yeah.
And far more numerous than what Gojo has, even in his best.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. That's the kind of stuff I like to find on the internet and like see all these people's like reasonings and stuff. And for the love of God, no, Naruto cannot beat Goku. Can we just dispense with that one already?
Who said that?
Lots of Naruto fans think that.
I'm a Naruto fan, and I don't think that. You know how many times I've seen Naruto get his ass kicked?
Actually, The only person that Naruto's ever lost a one-on-one fight to is Sasuke.
That's true. But he still got his ass kicked a lot.
Yeah, he has gotten beaten up a lot. Which, funny enough, actually, I think I have something in here. I wanted to bring this up because I was scrolling through Twitter and this came up. And it just reminded me of one of my favorite moments from Naruto. So, spoiler alert, if this plays properly,
Oh,
you remember
dude.
this moment?
Yeah,
this
such
is
a good scene.
The dub for it too. I mean, the voices they chose.
Well, I like the dub for them. I love Dub Madara. His voice is so freaking clean.
Dub Madara is like one of the best dubs ever.
Yes, dude. And like, here's the thing: I did not get any of this spoiled. Somehow, I managed to go through all of Naruto with no spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And
same. This was one of the first anime I ever watched, so I had no idea what was going.
Dude,
Introduced this character, and I like the moment I saw him, I'm like, oh, this is like a goofy little side character. What are the odds he turns out to be the main villain? That was my thought. And then it comes to this scene, I was just like,
actually, the only thing that got kind of somewhat spoiled for me was because I figured out that Obito and Toby were the same person. And my friend like didn't know what to say, and I was like, "Well, you didn't instantly say no, so I'm right." He was like, "Shit," and I was like, "Yeah," but I spoiled that for myself in a way. But because I was just thinking Toby, Obito, same fucking person. But I did not get this scene spoiled. So when I first saw this scene, I was like, "That was clean." Like that was so sick, dude.
Yeah, no, this is one of the like greatest villain reveals I have ever fucking experienced. I just gotta play this.
He's just messing with them.
Yeah, here's fingers crossed that it actually plays.
Sasuke triumphed in the battle. Itachi Uchiha is now dead.
What? I don't believe it! Kidding.
It's just as I expected.
It's clean with the change there. It's just he goes from like this goofy side character who is trolling to, oh shit, that's the big bad evil guy.
Yep. Dude, that was so good. I loved it, dude.
I love moments like that catch me off guard. Now a lot of Attack on Titan was actually spoiled for me. So going into it, I knew a lot of what was going to happen.
See, I managed to escape that as well.
Mm-hmm. However, I did not know about the future memories. And that blew my fucking mind.
We can't
in that moment, I'm just like
spoilers though, because there is somebody who's I don't know if Roman's still watching or not, but
I'm not gonna say anything about it other than the future memories. I'm just gonna say it blew my mind when they revealed that.
Yeah, that was wild. That was
I'm just like that changed the entire context of the fucking series.
And when you watch, not only that, but when you find out what the Titans are, or when you find out what the Colossal and Armored Titan are,
and,
like all that, dude. That one scene where they just straight up reveal it to Eren, and then he turns around and they're both just steaming, bro. Like, oh, on the wall. Oh, that just starts shit right there, dude.
Oh. Yeah, the way that reveal is done and like the background, like it
pans.
Isayama's choices for that series.
Eren's looking away from it, and then it pans over, and they're both just like, dude, shit. That was so freaking good. All that.
Yeah, as far as that goes, like I love when like a series does a really good reversal like that. So Oshinoko does that.
Okay.
It like convinces you that it's one thing, and then at the end of the pilot episode, it does a fucking heel turn.
Bleach does that with everything up until the Rukia extraction arc, and they go like you think Aizen's dead. You think Aizen's dead from season 2. They don't mention him. You think it's Gin. You think everything is Gin.
You know what? Another one that did this like villain reveal really well. Black Clover.
Yeah.
If you don't know
Yeah.
about what happened with Black Clover, holy shit!
We're talking about.
I predicted that the moment they introduced the mask character.
Are you
Like
talking
they
about what?
introduced him to it, and I'm like, that's fucking weird. And then I start talking about how the power system works. I'm like, wait, if his power is this, why was he able to do this? And I'm sitting there like, okay, like I even found a video. It was like going through the theory about like who the big bad evil guy was. And it all started to make fucking sense. And I got called crazy for saying that it wasn't going to happen. And then it happened like a week later.
Do you know? Did you read any of the manga, Black Clover?
Some of it to find that out.
Okay, so you haven't gone past the show though.
I have a bit. I got to basically to the point where Yuki Tabata was moved from regular weekly shonen releases to
Monthly.
quarterly releases, and then I stopped keeping up with it.
Yeah, because so did I. Kind of. I have to get back to it because I actually really love the story of Black Clover. But dude, there's another big villain reveal.
No, that big villain reveal, the one that I'm specifically talking about, I don't want to say it, but it starts with an L. Like the final bad guy, I guess, the one who's been orchestrating all this. That reveal single-handedly saved the entire series writing.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about how shit it was and how it was nonsensical and didn't make sense. Things weren't matching up. It was intentional the whole fucking time. It was insane.
Well, there's another big reveal that has come since the anime's ended. Which I'm still praying that we get a Bleach out of this, and eventually they're just going to be like, Black Clover's back with the war. Because how do you stop the show?
I think they will. They have to.
They have to.
Black Clover is kind of one of the this current gen of shonens that's wrapping up. Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero, they're getting close to the end, and so is Black Clover. They got to finish all those.
I just watched the first episode of season 7.
I haven't been able to catch up with it yet, but I do know what happens because I read the manga.
I kind of sort of know what happens, but I just watched Star and Stripe fight Shigaraki for the first time.
Honestly, as far as characters with immense potential that just didn't get what they deserved, Star and Stripe.
Yeah.
Such a cool power to have.
Dude, yeah. It's a new order. That's so dope. The air, because you're constantly touching the air, that's wild. That's so wild. But yeah, man, certain villain reveals, there's a big reveal in Tokyo Ghoul that's really good too.
That's another one where I watched the first 2 episodes and I haven't been back to it yet because I just haven't had the time.
Dude, there's a really good reveal.
Maybe that's what I'll try to watch tomorrow because for the first time in 3 weeks, I get a day off.
Yes, definitely check out some. Dude, first of all, season 1 and 2 of Tokyo Ghoul, chef's kiss. Absolutely amazing. Season 3, a lot of people will tell you it fell off during 3. Trust me, you don't know what's going on when season 3 starts because there's a little bit of a time jump. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be figuring shit out as Kaneki's figuring shit out. And everything will be revealed. God bless you. But everything will be revealed. I promise you, when season 3 hits, just stick with it. And it'll pay off. And season 4, they kind of rushed the end of it, but I still like it. Just because Kaneki is one of my favorite anime characters. Protagonists. He's goes from being this terrified, bitchy little kid, dude, not even little kid, he's a college student. So this bitchy 18, 19-year-old into just a freaking badass.
He grows up. He grows a spine. That's one of the things I hate when anime uses I call it the pathetic protagonist. I hate that trope. I hate that character archetype. It's like the kind you see from Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, from Rent a Girlfriend, from Tokyo Revengers. It's like
Yeah.
the primary reason I hate those shows, and one of the things I actually dislike about Kaiju number 8 is that the main character is too much of a weak-willed clown
Right.
at times.
So Kaneki's kind of just like trying to figure out the world, right? Because he's thrust into this all of a sudden. Like he goes from having a completely normal life to not even be able to eat his favorite food, you know, like and being shunned by society and all this crazy stuff. And his character development, like I almost want to say, he pulled an Aaron before Aaron pulled an Aaron. Like that switch in Aaron's mentality, that Kaneki gets that ruthless switch of like, this is how things are, and I'm going to make it so type of ruthless switch. But he's still himself, right? He's still the one we care about, but you will see that every once in a while, you'll see him go, oh, fuck no, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make sure this is what happens type of thing. Like, and it's good. That's why I like him so much as a character. Plus, I don't know why, I just like relate to him as a character. And there's so many other good characters in that show, man. But there is a.
Do I need to worry about you like eating me or something?
No.
Okay.
There is a really good villain reveal. Couple of them.
Yeah, look, I like the first couple of episodes. Honestly, when it comes to seinen versus shonen, I like seinen stuff better. So
yeah,
it's like right in my wheelhouse. I like that kind of like dark, like questioning kind of storytelling where like the lines between like right and wrong start to blur a little bit, and you really have to ask hard questions.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like gray morality. I just like the idea that you're going to push something to its limit.
Yeah, me too.
Like the idea that nothing is absolutely right or absolutely wrong. That's bullshit.
100%.
But like Berserk, which Black Swordsman trailer is out. We're gonna watch that tonight.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. Berserk, you have some clearly evil and clearly not evil characters. But like you start to see like the lines between some of them blur. But like you have Guts, a character who's just been through hell all across life. And like he has his moments where he does the wrong thing and all that.
Yeah.
But you know that in the end he's still the good guy. Like he makes mistakes. Like he lets his own impulses control him at certain points. And basically what it means is then he needs someone to babysit Casca because Casca ends up terrified of him.
Right.
But like a character like Griffith, there's absolutely nothing justifiable about the shit.
Nothing redeeming about that person at all.
He is just a narcissist who decided he was going to ruin the world of the person who had his back the most.
Yeah. He's evil. Just straight up, like, horrible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this one you might actually punch me for if we ever meet up in real life. But I did not know that the author of Yu Yu Hakusho was the same guy who wrote Hunter x Hunter, which I love.
Yeah.
Tagashi.
Yeah.
I absolutely did not know that for the longest time. And then earlier this week, I was looking for it and looking through it, and someone was talking about Tagashi in my Twitter feed. And that was when I saw that they were talking about Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. And I'm like, holy crap, that's right. They're written by the same person.
Yeah, they literally have the same outfit on the main character. Just a green jumpsuit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Green school clothes. But dude, Yu Yu Hakusho, one thing I will always that is a great show. I highly recommend to anybody.
I'm gonna have to get into it after Tokyo Ghoul.
Dude. First of all, Spirit Gun is one of the sickest abilities ever. You're a spirit detective and your hand is a pistol, like, and then he learns like shotgun, which is a fist, like a punch, and like all like, dude, it's sick.
Huh.
He gets like different types of like guns. They're just all hand movements. You know what I like? It's dope. one of the coolest like random abilities, but also best tournament arc I've ever seen. Better than the show or the Chunin exams, better than like the Black Clover tournament arc, better than any anime tournament arc I have ever seen. The Dark Tournament. Dark Tournament is goated because you actually there is stakes, and it's not like you lose, you die. Anybody who loses dies. 100% you will die. It is gladiatorial as hell. And there's parts where you're like, are they really going to kill these people off? Like, shit. Is this person really going to die? And, like, sometimes people die. Like, and you're like, oh, God. Like, dude, that tournament is wild. And they don't have a choice, but the main characters have to fight in it. There's no choice.
Yeah, imagine being a mangaka who just casually writes two of the greatest shonens ever.
Yeah.
In Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter.
Yep.
And then not being able to finish Hunter x Hunter to the extent that you wish.
Also, I think you'll really like Yu Yu Hakusho. If you watch it, I recommend the dub. Because the dub's just really good.
Oh, I've seen some of the dub stuff. Yusuke's a sassy bitch.
Dude, Yusuke's a savage, bro. He'll be like, "You old bitch!"
There was a clip in that thread where I had the dub Madara. There was a clip in there of him like shouting, "If you're gonna be a man, don't do it halfway," because he's like trying to figure out if it's a man or a woman because he won't fight women.
Yep. Yusuke won't fight women, and that's one of the ones where he says, I remember him saying that. He goes, "If you're gonna be a man, don't do it halfway." Yep. There's a lot of good characters in Yu Yu Hakusho. It's wild.
Again, I'm gonna have to watch it. It's on the list. It's just like for the past month and a half now, I have not really had a whole lot of time or energy after work to do anything.
Right.
To piggyback off of our kind of reflection on some classic anime, Adult Swim's doing something interesting.
Ooh.
So I found this. Adult Swim will start a new block called Toonami Rewind starting on May 31st. It will air animes like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z Kai, and Naruto.
Dude, what was the Toonami robot's name again?
I don't remember.
Fuck. He was the homie, dude. You knew it was about to be lit when you woke up and or when your TV was on still. And then
also random little fact that I learned through Weebs and Waifus. Apparently, the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter is married to the creator of Sailor Moon.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't know that.
Apparently, yeah, that's a thing.
That's awesome. That makes sense.
Yeah. Sounds about right, yeah?
Yeah, that's dope, though. Two of the most goated anime of all time. Literally married. Like, that's so cool.
I'm not huge on the magical girl stuff. Like, there's only like one or two that I'll read.
You can't deny the popularity of Sailor Moon.
Oh no, dude! Sailor Moon has a very, very dedicated fan base. And I happen to know that Lethal Lightning is a fan of magical girls. He really loves his Sailor Moon, which I always find funny because he's like the most like foul mouth, rough around the edges, like just like gamer guy you'll ever meet.
Bro, it's just hilarious to me, like imagining Lethal like sitting there with like a cup of tea, like watching Sailor Moon, dude.
Sailor Moon and Spy Family.
Bro, I imagine him with like a blanket over his shoulders, cup of tea. Time for some Sailor Moon. He's just like loving it. Like it's awesome. Everybody has that anime though. Everybody has that one anime that you're just like, no one would expect you to watch it, but you just love it.
All right. Can you try and guess what that one would be for me? You probably never even heard of it.
Probably not.
It's a series called Hyoka that came out in like 2012.
I have heard of that, but I've never seen it.
it is detective fiction, but what it does is it takes like just everyday like random questions and turns them into these like really well played out mysteries. So basically, you have a guy who just doesn't want to put any effort in anything. He's just kind of coasting through life. And the other characters are a dude who's a know-it-all, but he only has like surface level knowledge of like everything.
Okay.
And this chick who is like this heiress to like some like big country family who owns a lot of land out in rural Japan. And she's constantly like getting these random questions about stupid things and like asking him. Now, the main character is like really good at solving mysteries and like puzzling things out. He's an excellent detective, but he just doesn't want to put any effort into things. And she's constantly curious and asking for his help to like solve these mysteries about all this stuff. So like I have a whole episode dedicated to this one time where their teacher decided to pause the class for a bit and look at a helicopter that was flying by, and they go through all like this like crazy like research and stuff to find out that like he was involved in like a mountaineering club and some of his club members got lost in the mountains. He participated in the search and rescue and yeah, all of that stuff. The show is really just chill and fun. I love the writing in it. And also, hail to JM. Nice to see you,
brother. Good to see you, man. I usually only see JM in chats.
Yeah.
Like G&G chats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing people from the G&G chat. Like, that's how you and I met each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's hilarious. I love hanging out with, like, when you actually put a face to the name and stuff like that. It's cool.
I want to go to some of, like, the actual, like, meetups. Like, if Weebs and Waifus ever does one, and I'm not fucking swamped with work, I definitely want to go.
I want to go to Orlando next year. I can't do Vegas.
I honestly wouldn't really want to do Vegas.
In new sobriety, I don't want to be putting myself in Vegas, but I'll go to the Orlando meetup.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I wanted to ask you: have you ever watched the anime? It's literally called like K or K Project. It's 2 seasons. It's 2 seasons. It came out in 2012. And I remember watching it probably a couple of years ago. Like, it had to be like right before or during COVID. And it's like, it's really interesting. It's got a really interesting premise. Where there's like, it takes place in like 2019 or 2020 or something like that, or maybe it even is 2012 when it takes place, but it's like interesting, or like 2015, except there's like higher tech, but not crazy. You know, like their billboards will be like holographic sometimes, you know, but it's not like they have like crazy cool tech, or like they have like little cleaning robots on the streets and shit, or like their trams, like their tram cars will be hanging, like the one from Cowboy Bebop, instead of like just being on the ground. You know, like so it's not like crazy tech, but the really cool thing is the premise is like there's 7 kings, and each king has their own clan of like vassals and stuff. So it's like there's the Reds, and the Red guys are kind of like a cool gang that like hangs out in a bar and stuff like that. They're very like noir kind of. And then you got like the Blues, who are like, they're led by the Blue King, but they're all about order. So like they're kind of like military special police. And then you have like the Colorless King, who you're trying to figure out stuff about, the Silver King. Like it's actually really cool. K, it's on Netflix. Both seasons are on. Well, actually, it's on Netflix and Hulu. I don't know if they switched it to Hulu.
Crunchyroll too. I actually have it pulled up here.
Dude, it's really good. I just binged.
Let me check their My Anime List page. So right now, 7.43 rating. That's okay. That's good.
It's got great music. There is fan service in it.
Streaming on Crunchyroll and Netflix right now.
It's on Hulu as well. That's where I watched it. Because I found it again, and I was like, wow, I remember watching season 1 of this, and I absolutely loved it. And season 2, dude, the animation pops off. They literally just flex for the first 5 minutes of the first episode of season 2 on how good their animation got. It's so freaking good. And it's a crazy mystery story, but at the same time, it's wholesome as hell. And you have all these different kings that technically need to work together, but each one of them controls different things. Like the Silver King is the king over the skies, and like the Gold King controls the ground, and like the military, not the military, but like the government, like the Prime Minister of Japan reports directly to the Gold King. You know, and it's really interesting when you find out more about the powers, how they get them, and the way you can tell one of them is really using his power is because this massive sword appears in the air that is their color. They all look different. But it's kind of like a mystery that ends up turning into a lot more than that after season 1. And it's a really cool.
This could be an interesting game. You keep seeing this anime chick popping up everywhere.
Are you talking about the chick from K? Neko? She's cool. America, yeah. Is he talking about Star and Stripe?
I'm gonna Google that.
But yes, I highly recommend K. It's literally only 24 episodes. Or maybe it's 26. Something like that. But I binged the whole thing last week. Because I never saw season 2. And I remember watching season 1 and being like, I still have so many answers or questions that need to be answered. I want more of this. I love these characters. And the soundtrack is something that some of the songs you can actually get hyped to, but you can also fall asleep to the music. It's so good. Some of the best soundtrack, great character writing. He said, peep the link. Would you send me something on Discord?
Hello. Azumanga Daioh. Okay, this. Is it like some like plain looking black haired chick? Is that what he sent you?
No.
I don't. The closest I can find is something from a series called America Ya. Hello.
Could be it.
The scene resurfaced as a viral sound on TikTok in March 2024, sparking the users to comment America Yeah, followed by several hellos in video's comment section. So Ayumu Kasuga, I believe, is the name of the character here, according to Wiki. Anyway, yeah, I mean, look. The more you delve into anime, here's a funny story about the latest video that I made. And it's a bit degenerate. So, while I was making my Shangri-La Frontier review, which I do recommend people go check out because I put a lot of effort into that one. I'm really proud of how it turned out. While I was making that review, I needed an image of a character called Arthur Pencilgon, who, in spite of the name, happens to be a chick in the series. That's just her gaming name because the whole series is based on a video game. And what I found out is that apparently there is a very large subset of the fan base who likes pencil gun feet images. Because I went searching for an image of the character, and there were way too many of them in that. So yeah, that's something I didn't need to discover that I did. And he turns his camera off when I say that. I don't know what he's going to go do now.
No, I'm just standing up for a second to grab my. I gotta put the air on it here. It's getting too pretty hot.
You got to go find them feet pics, huh?
Oh yeah. Just got to take a couple real quick so I can sell them on OnlyFeet.
Okay. Since we're on the topic of like really dumb anime girl stuff, I'm wondering if you heard this, but apparently, the Kong Godzilla movie is doing an anime crossover.
The new one?
The new Empire, yeah.
Okay.
I gotta pull this up because this is fucking unhinged. I'm not gonna play the audio for this because this is. I just saw this and I'm like, who in their right mind would ever want something like this? So, do you know what Uma Musume is?
I do not.
It's some fucking horse anime, but instead of horses, they have fucking horse girls. Yeah. So they decided that they were going to do a fucking crossover with this stupid ass anime.
Horse girls?
Yeah.
What?
This is the actual fucking thing.
How?
Why?
How?
Why?
Yeah, but like that's just like a shot from the actual movie.
Yeah, I know, but like
confusion.
I'm first of all, I don't understand. Okay, so when you have an anime that literally has the line of my mother was a mayor and my father was a lonely farmer, I'm just like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Yo, what?
Yeah, that's like the main character's like backstory.
What?
The only reason I know is because it became a huge fucking point of mockery.
Yo, that's wild. That's like a whole different level of like,
yeah,
depraved.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be it could be like the series like Inukai-san's dog, which I'll just say it ends with a sex scene and leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of depraved stuff like that in manga and anime. It's weird. And some people just decide that they want to make degenerate shit just for their own amusement.
Yeah.
Like this parody video someone did of Solo Leveling. There's 2 parts to this.
Oh, great. Let's go.
And it is
Ginu, I told you to stop looking at hentai on the family TV. It's gross. Oh, who are you?
Oh, Jinha, it's me.
Ginu? Why do you look hot? I mean, different.
Oh, I just started following Sam Sulik's workout program, so I guess I've gotten a little more ripped.
God, that's hot. I mean, that's so cool, step bro.
Jinha, we're not step siblings. We're blood related.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm adopted. Anyways, are you busy later? Do you want to Netflix and chill? I mean, watch movies together? In my bed?
You know, I wish I could, but I actually have to prepare for another dungeon raid.
Oh, okay. Well, if you change your mind, I'll be stuck in the dryer. I mean, drying my wet clothes. Because they're wet.
All right.
What?
Did you catch the last part? You want to fuck? Okay, there's a part 2 to this. There's a part 2.
Yo, what?
This is the next scene in the anime, okay?
What is this, yo? What?
Someone deciding to make a... I'll just let this play.
This isn't a date, Jenna. It's just a family dinner.
You know, when I said I wanted your meat for dinner, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, well, KFC was the only place that was open, so...
It's so good, Ginu. You're the best stepbrother I could have ever asked for.
Again, we're not step siblings. We're blood related.
I don't know. Dad left a long time ago, and we have different colored hair.
We're not f***ing, Jenna.
Fine.
You should just stop trying. Literally nothing will convince me to hook up with my own sister.
New mission alert.
Oh God.
Mission title, Sister Leveling, Sweet Home, Alabama.
Reject.
This mission cannot be rejected.
Like hell it can't.
Who are you talking to?
Shut it, Jenna.
Yes, Daddy. Failure to complete this mission will result in your immediate death.
No one hears about this.
No one will hear except the neighbors.
God, I hope you're adopted.
I'm really...
Is that real?
That is not the actual series, by the way. That is, you know how Team 4-Star did Dragon Ball Abridged?
So they dubbed it.
So a fan dubbed over it with that, yes.
Yo,
that is
that's
not the actual
hilarious.
series. Solo Leveling doesn't even get close to any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, so that's Solo Leveling.
Yes.
Yo, that's hilarious.
I just love that the Alabama music only plays when it switches over to his
Operation
perspective.
Sweet Home Alabama.
New mission, Sister Leveling, Sweet Home Alabama. Reject. This cannot be. Yeah, so sometimes I love the kind of
that's funny
degenerate,
as hell.
stupid shit that people come up with.
That's funny.
That I died laughing listening to that. It was just
She said, "No, I'm pretty sure I'm adopted."
no, I'm pretty sure I'm adopted.
Stop leaving hentai on the TV.
By the way, what he was playing, I recognize it. It's not hentai at all. It's Jobless Reincarnation.
Is it?
Yes. It's a sex scene from Jobless Reincarnation, but Jobless Reincarnation nonetheless.
Right.
You want to? We'll continue down the like funny degenerate train because I have one story here that I found out about. Oh fuck! The music's playing. Stop. There we go. I'm gonna pull this up. So the story here is that this guy was engaged in some fan talk about Bunny Girl Senpai. And he accidentally used his school account to draw some fan art.
Is that Rascal? The Rascal Bunny?
Yeah, Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. So
yeah.
Basically, here is the story. So the context. This was from a story from 2022. A Discord user had an argument online about Mai's butt size. During the argument, they made a comparison using a cosplayer and fan art of Mai from Bunny Girl Senpai. It did so using their school's Google Drawing account. Unfortunately, the account auto-saved the drawing, and it now can't be deleted.
Bruh.
Everyone in school, including the teachers, faculty, classmates, and even the parents of classmates, saw the edit on Google Drawing and received an email notification about it.
Yo!
To make matters worse, the IT staff is unable to do anything about it. The drawing is now permanently immortalized and will forever be on display for future students to witness. So basically, this sums up. This is a video summing up the incident. This might get us kicked off of YouTube for the music.
The music's so good, though. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's basically just speed running like the school Discord's response.
Someone said he fucked.
That this is the guy, a Discord server where most of the 9th graders are in, are mass pinging me.
Oh.
Could be worse. They could be sending you gay shit.
I definitely fucking the entire school board also knows, which means my parents will also. No, dude. He's not gonna be allowed to watch anime anymore.
He's gonna have a whole lot of other problems. Son, why are you drawing a girl in a bunny suit with a fat ass?
No.
Well, at least I know you
You're
ain't
too
gay,
close to the
boy.
sun.
The entire ninth grade knows. 116 students and their parents will know. A teacher on my WA group pinged me. This is the intro to Evangelion, right?
Yeah. God, shit. Yo,
bro, the internet is glorious for
you're
some
gonna
of
have to
this stuff.
change
Like,
schools, dude.
yeah, that dude had to go into witness fucking protection and find a whole new life.
Damn. Flew too close to the sun, buddy. I feel for you. All he wanted to do was just adjust her ass. All because he was getting in an argument with somebody about it in Discord.
Man ended his whole social life over a weeb argument.
Yo. Oh shit.
We'll get to the more serious stuff, but we are on the funny train right now, the haha funny train. So we're going to continue on to the article that I wanted to cover, because this is also it's a perfect segue, because we're talking about fan service. We're now going to move into what the creator of Kill la Kill has to say about fan service. I'll just let you read that title.
Anime fan service is necessary or everyone will die.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
The creator of Studio Trigger's Kill la Kill the creators of Studio Trigger's Kill la Kill make a bizarre case for the show's fan service, arguing that it's necessary for the fate of humanity. Well, maybe for the fate of Japan, but
I don't know, man. I've been watching Black Sails, and there's a lot of fan service in that. And that's real people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of boobies in that show.
Fair enough.
I don't complain.
Dude, I'm not going to complain about fan service. I'm not. Actually, I will when it's just like overly gratuitous and has no reason to be there. Like if you're just going to throw it in just because you can, like you're going to make an ecchi anime that is all fan service, fine. Sure. But I would rather my anime be mostly story and action. Anyway, the creator of Studio Trigger's popular Kill la Kill anime series have made an intriguing case for the show's blatant fan service, arguing that it's an essential component of both the medium and the show itself for the fate of humanity. I need to find the quote. We're making commercials work. We're making a commercial work, so we want the audience to see it. I don't care if they say I don't get it, but I don't want them to feel unnecessarily uncomfortable. On the other hand, if the work is complete, if we make the work completely sterile, I have hiccups right now if you can't tell, people's immunity will be weakened and they will all die. Therefore, there is a way of thinking that we should dare to take on the stigma and transmit harmful things to the public. Hey, let's broadcast like chicks in skimpy outfits so that people don't die from not seeing them. That is like, this dude's got to just be like enjoying life, having fun with that interview. Like, that's the only explanation I've got.
I don't know, dude. I agree with him. Everyone will die without fan service.
I think it was actually like a movie or something like that, where like a dude's heart will explode if he's like not constantly like keeping his adrenaline at max. So like he just like has this chick with him and they're like randomly just fucking in public because his heart will explode if they don't.
This is a movie?
Apparently.
Is it anime or
no? It's like a real life
interesting
movie. Yeah. It popped up in my feed because there's an author I follow, John A. Douglas, who was arguing about how it's like absolutely the most necessary sex scene in any movie. I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, it is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Dude, for all the goofy shit, I love anime so much. It's just...
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm
not
so
because you're a rabbit,
but because you're black.
Don't fire! This man's not black!
Dude, did you see I showed some of that on the podcast the other day?
Of Ghost Stories?
Roman had never seen it, so I showed him like 30 seconds of Ghost Stories.
Fuck, I'll have to go back and watch that whole episode because I was going to suggest to you that you need to get Roman to watch Ghost Stories.
Dude, when a cat's just like, your sister's right, you are retarded. He's like, I feel so isolated. Or I feel so, it's like, I feel so lonely. Like a black family in Bush's America.
Run, Carrier Trout, run! Pretend there's a big scary black man behind you. Well, I guess he's not racist. Yeah, he's only like 0.2 seconds faster.
Yeah, but I guess he's not racist.
Bro, I fucking love what they did with that dub. I still
Ghost
need to
Stories
finish the
is
whole thing. Yeah, any like Ghost Stories dub, anything that has Ian Sinclair in it, I will automatically love because Ian Sinclair is a goat.
Yeah. He's good, dude.
And why is Colin Clinkenbeard everywhere when it comes to dubs?
Yeah, he is a lot of places.
That's a she.
Oh.
It's the voice of Lilith and Tannis from Borderlands.
Oh.
Yeah. And Luffy.
Really?
Yeah. She voices English Luffy.
So is Donnie Jan Bosch.
He's in
so much. He's Ichigo.
Oh yeah. I know he's Ichigo. I'm just like he's Ichigo, he's Dante, I think.
Yeah, he's also in yeah, but you'll hear him in like animation. Like he's in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
He's in like he voices he's Genma in Naruto. Like one of the other ninjas. One of the other Chunin, right? He's a dude who's always got the freaking toothpick in his mouth and wears the cap. Him and the dude with the spiky hair who has like the white stripe on his face.
Ah, those two random dudes who do like fuck all but act as side characters throughout the.
Well, nah, Genma ends up actually being a character because he's there when Asuma specifically picks him and the other dude to go fight Hidan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like
he specifically picked Genma and the other dude because of the way that their jutsus are. They match his jutsu. And then Genma's he's important in the war too. So he ends up actually doing stuff. And apparently he's in Boruto a lot more.
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, Donnie Bosch is like so many places.
Yeah, I know. He's actually in he's going to be in a series by Angel Studios, actually.
What's that? I mean, what series?
Angel Studios is the one that did Sound of Freedom and all that. They're like a Christian production company.
Oh, yeah.
They're making like an anime.
What?
Yeah, called like Gabriel and the Guardians or whatever. It's very Dragon Ball-esque. Like
interesting.
Nephilim and shit. Yeah, it's got the voice actors for Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin in it from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Johnny Young Bosch is the main character. Christina V is in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Matt Lancer and I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. Who plays Obi-Wan? I gotta look it up. This is gonna bother me if I don't. James Arnold Taylor. I knew it was 3 first names. That's pretty cool. I'll watch it just for this.
It'll be interesting. I'm intrigued by it because it's kind of like one of those indie things because I do a lot of indie stuff on the back end. I haven't covered the indie projects we have today, but we'll do that a bit later. There's just a couple of comics. Right now I'm just kind of having fun talking anime and random shit like that. I wonder if there's anything else.
He's an amazing Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, actually, I did really like the voice actors for the Clone Wars. They were good.
But
I want to pull something up that I have personally been really looking forward to. And if anyone knows like the first thing about me, they know I simp for like 2 series, and that is Frieren and Berserk.
Yes, let's go.
So the fan studio Eclipse has produced a proper trailer for their adaptation of the greatest manga ever written.
3.5-minute trailer. Let's go.
Yeah, it's insane. And it looks good too.
この世界には人の運命を司る何らかの超越的な律神の手が存在するのだろうか。
Like it's already leaps and bounds ahead of the 2016 version.
Oh yeah.
Like fuck that shit.
The 2016 version sucks.
It's so ass when it comes to production. Even like the 97 version isn't that great, but at least the 97 version doesn't look like it was made in Gmod.
Yeah, but that's the worst part too, is the trailer for it wasn't in that animation. So everybody thought it was going to be like a legitimate Berserk anime. And then it comes out, it's that shitty ass freaking Gmod looking animation, dude.
Dude, me and my brother were going to watch Berserk. We watched like the first 2 episodes of the 97 anime, and we're like, yeah, this isn't really doing it for us. Like, it's kind of all grungy and weird, and like production just isn't there. So we went over to the 2016 version. We got about 6 minutes into the 2016 version's first episode and turned it off.
It was terrible.
It was awful. But this.
少なくとも人は自らの意志さえ
This is not
自由にはできない。
Now keep in mind, this is a really small team doing this.
すべてこの男のものだというのか。はい、一人で戦を始められるほどでございます。クソ野郎めが。その。
Did he just say the N-word?
No.
But dude, like for a small team out of Mexico, this is insane. Like the kind of like animation quality they got.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah, I think it only gets better from here.
男は黒い剣士と名乗ったそうだな。大臣殿、いかがなさいますか。
Fuck, that looks so good.
Yeah.
白の連中をあっという間で。俺の戦いだ。
Okay. I forgot about that scene in the very beginning of Berserk. I forgot that was in here.
It's on YouTube.
But dude, like, I'm liking that they're like going full in on like all the gore and stuff. They're just like straight up adapting Berserk, even like stupid pointless scenes like Guts clapping a demon at the beginning.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is sick.
Yeah, it looks like they're covering a lot, like everything like up to the Golden Age is what I'm seeing here. Up to the Golden Age arc is what I'm seeing here. So like this is from the second arc from the beginning of the story. So oh, that looks cool. Oh! Hold up. I gotta.
That's clean.
Yeah, dude, that is. Ooh, like this is the kind of like love that Berserk deserves. Now, imagine if you had like a full, like properly sized studio of dudes who were this passionate about making something.
Yeah, right.
Like this would be like so much better because like look, I will be honest, there is a little bit of like choppiness and stuff in the animation. I can tell that it is a fan project and that like it's a small team of guys doing this.
It's one of the
But
best
holy
fan
crap, the
projects I've
quality that like the amount of like effort they're putting into this, you can tell. They are
Yes.
trying their damnedest to do something good with this.
This is definitely one of the
respect
best, like one of the best fan projects I've seen for anime. Like if you were to show me this and not tell me it was a fan project, I'd think it was real.
Right? Honestly, if you ask me, this is by far like the best looking adaptation of Berserk that I've ever seen.
Hell yeah.
No, that okay. Holy crap! They just
flexing with the eye.
Yeah. Like their artwork is just beautiful. Like I want to pause on this. Like the background,
Yeah,
the detail, and
what?
all this stuff. Like this is insane. What they've done with all of this. Oh yeah, this part. That the music too. That's the only unfortunate part. It's gonna take a whole year for them to get this out. However, I did find out that this isn't their only project that they're doing.
What else are they doing?
Attack on Titan. They have a thing called Attack on Titan Requiem that they're working on.
What?
Yeah, let me...
Is there a trailer for that?
Let me remove this for... Yeah, actually, there are short trailers. They don't have a 3-minute one like this, but they have some short trailers that are actually in English. So, Attack on Titan Requiem. It actually comes up. Yeah, so here's the official trailer. It's a minute long.
That's
all
good
the characters and canon materials used. Oh, wait, I should probably bring this up. Let's full screen that because I don't want people seeing what like pops up in my feed. So all the characters and canon material used in this animation are the sole property of Hazumi Ishiyama, Kodansha Ltd, WIT, and Mappa Studios. Please support the release of Attack on Titan official manga anime. Shingeki no Requiem is a fan made with the utmost. Exploring a what-if scenario of its ending in an animation format. So this is like a what-if kind of thing. I'm guessing if Eren had survived or whatever.
Interesting.
So let's see what the... Again, they do such gorgeous artwork.
for 2,000 years. She's been waiting for someone to free her. To free us all.
No.
So I'm actually excited to see some of this stuff. I guess that kind of like brings us around to one of the things I did want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out.
There are a lot of animations actually that are doing this kind of like independent release sort of thing. Like they're not airing on like proper television or streaming services. The Amazing Digital Circus has made millions of dollars off of airing their stuff directly to YouTube. Completely free for people to watch. Like I went and watched both episodes a couple weeks ago. And it's it's actually a very like entertaining cartoon.
I've never watched it.
If you don't just kind of like enjoy like classic cartoon shenanigans like I do, like if you weren't like a huge fan of like Tom and Jerry or Popeye the Sailor Man, you might not enjoy it. It's not really like this story thing, but it's like a bunch of gags and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Basically, it's you get stuck in a video game like Sword Art Online, except for it's a circus, you're a clown, and there's no way out ever. Because the guy who has control of it has gone insane and doesn't understand that people want to leave.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these, like as well, like there's a lot of these new animations, like indie animations coming out, like Has Been Hotel is really good, and they got bought by Amazon, you know, and then you've got their other show from Visipop, Hell of a Boss, which is freaking great. That's all on YouTube.
I never really cared much to watch those. I'm not going to knock them because a lot of people seem to love them. They're doing something right. I couldn't. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah, but it's really cool to see them get like certain voice actors for certain things. Like, and
I think the coolest part of it is, at the very least, I think the stuff like Has Been Hotel is like a move in the right direction, because like every freaking adult cartoon, like all the mature cartoons and stuff like that, why is it always just about like depression and nihilism, like Rick and Morty, and like you don't get anything that's just like good entertainment anymore. Like Smiling Friends has kind of done a good like job of stepping away from that. What?
I haven't watched that.
Yeah, that's okay. Smiling Friends I do appreciate for the fact that like it's not just nihilism or whatever. Like it's actually like proper like a properly like entertaining cartoon. And that's one of the things I think anime has done really well, is like locking down all their audiences. Like you have the shonen stuff like My Hero Academia, that's obviously going to like attract a lot of younger audiences, Demon Slayer, that kind of stuff. And then the seinen stuff like Tokyo Ghoul, like Berserk, that's going to like really draw in people like me who like the more mature storytelling that they can do with it.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, I feel like a lot of the lines are being blurred now, like with like Attack on Titan really started that, blurring the lines between seinen and shonen, because technically speaking, Attack on Titan is shonen.
Is it? I thought it was seinen.
I thought it was technically a shonen.
Huh, I'd have to look that up. I thought Attack on Titan was seinen.
Well, either way, Jujutsu Kaisen blurs those lines completely.
Yeah, actually it does. Jujutsu Kaisen, very dark, very gritty.
But also not at times.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Berserk is that way too. I mean, you have a whole character who's dedicated to comedic relief. That's Puck.
Yeah, true.
And his whole thing is basically just being a clown. I mean, that's like, anyway, yeah, I think Jujutsu Kaisen takes it to a new level because it kind of incorporates a lot of that stuff into like the story instead of just having it as like a side dish like Berserk does.
Yeah, because that is actual shonen.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know what you would consider Chainsaw Man to be.
technically it's shonen.
I know, but that blurs the lines too.
I think there's something that's been lost about cartoons, and I actually got into this with a guy I've done streams with, a Drink with Crazy. I commented on one of his videos. He was going on a rant about how like we've abandoned children and not like given them any like proper entertainment or things focused at them, things they would be interested in. And I kind of like spurred me into some thoughts about like, okay, well, the greatest cartoons we'll ever watch are the ones that can be enjoyed by all groups of people, all ages. Like you can enjoy them because they have good storytelling. That's Batman the Animated Series, Teen Titans, Earth's Mightiest Avengers.
I would even argue like shows like Adventure Time are up there with that.
Yeah, but Adventure Time I think became too much of like existential crises.
Nah, dude, the story starts popping off.
I'll have to go back and rewatch it and do a full like review of it. Either way,
another one, Avatar: The Last Airbender, perfect example. Bless you. Perfect example. Damn, he sneezed so hard it froze. Sneezed so hard it froze your camera.
Is it frozen
Not
right
anymore.
now? Okay. Anyway, it's kind of been like my pet peeve that like saying adult animation makes it sound like really fucking dirty.
Yeah, it makes it sound degenerate.
Like adult storytelling in cartoons gets like brushed aside. People either look at cartoons as, oh, well, you need juvenile humor like Beavis and Butthead or South Park because the people who watch them are immature dickheads, or you need to make something absolutely brain dead for the children like Uncle Grandpa.
I mean, I think Regular Show does a good job with that.
Yeah, Regular Show's a very interesting one that is absurd and funny, but still like does storytelling.
Oh, the storytelling is really freaking good in Regular Show, but there's also episodes that you're like, but there is an overall story arc, like throughout the seasons.
Like characters actually have development and stuff. I know. I spent a lot of time I spent a couple weeks in a hospital just binging Regular Show.
And like towards the later seasons, Rigby and Mordecai almost switch places in their thinking. Where Mordecai becomes the more rash, like because of the relationships that he's in, right? He becomes like more rash and like ends up messing up a lot of stuff that like regularly he wouldn't have in the earlier seasons. And Rigby's the voice of reason a lot of the times, which is like, what? But they're also still themselves. And you get character development for like Skips and Benson and Pops and even Muscleman and High Five Ghost. Like, it's really good, man. I love that show. And the freaking and Thomas, even the intern who comes in like later on, becomes very important.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff just gets like abandoned now. I mean, we get all these remakes. There's a point to be made about like our generation is getting all of the focus for entertainment because they want to focus on people who have money, and that like leaves kids without anything that's specifically generated at them.
Yeah,
which is where you get anime coming in and, you know, putting out stuff like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho. Hell, this series is like one of the most wholesome freaking series you can get out there, and it has some of the best action sequences I have ever seen in shonen.
Yeah, I've seen some really good action sequences from that show. I have not watched Mob Psycho yet, but I've seen parts of it.
It is one of like my top 10 favorite anime, dude. I love that series. And now with that, I have the whole thing on Blu-ray. So I'm going to rewatch it sometime soon.
There you go.
But yeah, it's like
I was gonna say even like you know, I hear like Nerdrotic talking about the fact that, you know, he watched some of My Hero and he was like, this is really good superhero shit. Cause he, you know, he's a big comic book nerd. Ran a freaking comic shop. Like, he knows what is good superhero storytelling like the back of his hand. And he's like, this is how you do it. And like, he's like, I think he said he only watched like the first season because he's a busy man. But he liked it a lot. He's like, I do plan on eventually watching the whole show, but I hear him mention that quite a few times.
Yeah, I mean, Look, and the best part about that is Horikoshi got all his inspiration from American comics.
Yeah.
He loved Spider-Man and decided, hey, I'm gonna make something like that.
Yeah,
It's
then
great.
I'm gonna eventually give Deku freaking webs, basically.
All the Spider-Man powers: super strength, danger sense.
Yeah.
Black Whip.
Yeah, Deku basically does get Spidey's abilities.
Except for he also gets Smokescreen, Fajin, and Gear Shift.
Yeah. And he also he also has All Might's just pure strength. You're not gonna
that's the effect of One for All, is it's just like compiling every user's strength.
That's true.
More and more and more.
Yeah, see, you're not gonna have Spider-Man punch that giant robot like he does in season 1 and just freaking crush it like a soda can.
Or clear the fucking sky with a punch.
Yeah.
No, the Japanese are still telling good stories. They're just straight up focused on telling good long format stories and making their characters likable, because they understand that they can market to both groups of people at the same time. By giving kids something that they can enjoy, like My Hero Academia is clearly more geared towards kids. But I mean, you see it with all the goofy stuff that goes on. However, it still has a mature story.
That's true.
I would say it still has mature elements to it. There's still some proper things going on in there,
especially right now. Well, yeah, but you get, even the storytelling between the Todoroki family, that's mature.
Yeah, it addresses a pretty deep issue right there,
dude. And the Shigaraki backstory is dark. Dark.
Yeah, but back in the day, I mean, we had Batman. We grew up on that.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of dark stuff with that. Teen Titans also dealt with some dark stuff,
Absolutely.
It's not like kids can't handle that kind of stuff. I don't think some young, impressionable 6-year-old needs to be watching the darkest, heaviest stuff out there. But it's you can still make cartoons palatable to adults and kids at the same time. But right now, what everyone seems to want to focus on is either just adults and treat it with the most juvenile, tasteless humor you can. That's the Rick and Morty stuff, the BoJack Horseman, all that kind of stuff. Or they make the most brain dead, mindless shit like Uncle Grandpa.
Yeah.
Which is denigrating to kids. You think they're too stupid to understand storytelling?
That's why I liked original SpongeBob, dude. Early 2000s SpongeBob was the shit.
Dude, one of the greatest cartoons ever made right there, SpongeBob. The beginning seasons of SpongeBob.
Now it's just stupidity. Mm-hmm. Whereas you had that old SpongeBob stuff where there was some scenes where you're it makes you think. Or it makes you dude,
Mr. It was slapstick done right.
Yeah, but think about it. Mr. Krabs literally harvesting these poor jellyfish for their freaking jelly. And he's torturing them in order to get it. SpongeBob has to shut it down. Mr. Krabs get money, there's some messed up stuff throughout that show, but also some stuff that is just
how about the one where SpongeBob gets bullied by his idol, the jellyfishing guy?
Yeah. And then there's also
they go out of their way to humiliate him and everything.
Doesn't that hurt you? Do you want it to hurt, Kevin? But then you also have the funniness of that stupid humor of it has your name in it, so it must be your wallet. Makes sense to me. Then take it. It's not my wallet. That shit is so dumb. But that to me, that scene right there, perfect SpongeBob humor. If you were to explain to anybody this is the humor in SpongeBob, that scene between Man Ray and Patrick right there, perfect.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of things about old. Oh, Kapoki, how are you doing?
Yes, I have Kapoki. They're cool. Have you ever seen them, Crimson?
Yeah, actually, I have.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss some of like the older cartoons and stuff that
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
I actually never watched that one.
Oh, dude, so good.
Yeah, like why I don't understand why like cartoons get treated the way they get treated now. It's like a bunch of idiots control everything.
Doing good, Kapoki. Good to see you.
How am I? Mostly tired, but I guess all right. I mean, I finally get a day off after 3 weeks tomorrow. So.
Let's go. Yeah.
Just Rolo, just so you know, this is he's the guy. Remember when I showed you Black Noblesse, that manga I was talking about, you can find free. He's the author.
Kapoki?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so like cool shit.
Well, that's great because I was gonna start reading it.
Yeah, I actually do. I have very much enjoyed it so far. But yeah, I mean, like as far as the cartoon stuff goes, like I kind of have to agree with A Drink with Crazy that like we need to kind of like focus on doing some more things for kids of this age, which is why I'm always glad to see like a lot of these indie creators like make stuff for kids, like The Amazing Digital Circus. You can watch it as a kid or as an adult. Yeah, they do have some like swear words in there, but they get censored out.
Right.
Like they make a whole joke about how you can't swear in the game world.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Kapoki, you're very welcome because you're very talented.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I wish I could draw and do stuff like that.
Yeah, but keep doing what you're doing. I can draw. I'll draw it for you. I'll draw your story.
But yeah, it's like we need to get back to the days where like entertainment was just fun. Another reason to, be all supportive of indie stuff and like enjoy it, or just go and make something that's like that you would be okay with your kids watching or reading. Like
there's so many shows these days that I would not put in front of my kids.
And it's hard to even go back and like, hey, check out this old stuff because, well, your generation grew up with like a different aesthetic than their generation. So like, as much as I'd love to sit down with my, like in the future, if I ever had kids, as much as I'd love to sit down with them and show them like Teen Titans and Batman and all that stuff, you kind of have to acknowledge that that might not be their thing.
I don't know, man. I like watching old movies from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. Ever watched Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
Great movie. Yeah.
When I was freaking,
people like us are more the exception.
When I was like
kind of like
3 years old, my dad put in freaking A New Hope, and I've been a Star Wars fan ever since. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's certain timeless things, and Batman the animated series will be timeless.
Yes.
Teen Titans is pretty timeless. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender is timeless.
The thing is, though, kids still do need something new that's kind of like made for their age.
Well, yeah. So, but like,
I think that's why like the old school SpongeBob stuff was perfect. It was like purely for kids' entertainment, and you can still go back and just appreciate everything that they did right with that series.
Yeah, but remember, like we had Boomerang, right? You can watch like old Scooby-Doo on there. Yeah, see, Atla is goated.
I don't think you'll find anyone who won't say that, to be fair, though.
If you don't say Atla's goated, I don't think you have ever watched it.
I think, look, Atla and Batman, the animated series, got to be two of the two best cartoons ever made.
Definitely one of them. Like I'm gonna show my kids Clone Wars, when I have kids.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna do what my dad did, right? And he created a monster, but like Star Wars monster. I'm just gonna like, okay, you're old enough to understand things. Sit you down, and we're gonna watch Star Wars. Boom. Like literally, one of my first memories is parts of the Phantom Menace and parts of A New Hope.
Yeah, I don't know about like being like a huge Star Wars nerd. I really liked it. It was my inspiration to like start writing and all of that, and being creative. But I don't know. I never got as into it as like you or Daimyo or Dog.
Yeah, but I mean, like, regardless, like you do the same thing with anything else, right? Like,
Yeah, there are definitely things where I'm gonna like in the future. I'm gonna try and like if I have kids, I am definitely gonna sit down. Like Mob Psycho is one of those shows where you could just sit there and like enjoy it with your children. Zuko is one of yeah. Zuko is absolutely like peak character development right there.
100%. If you want to create a redemption arc, not even a redemption, but like villain to good guy arc, because he wasn't necessarily like ever evil, right? But he was bad.
No, he was never in Azula or an Ozai. He was just
or even
someone who was raised in an environment to be a certain way. And I think the best part about that is he falters along that whole journey. Like the whole time he struggles with it. Like he goes good and then bad and then good and then bad again.
Well, when the
and then
show
ultimately
starts, he's 16, and then by the end of the show, he's 17.
Yeah, it's I think I like there's a point. There's merit in showing like the younger generation some of like the good stuff that we grew up on, like passing on that like great storytelling. But again, you cannot escape the fact that you can't just abandon them to old things.
Oh no, I'm sure they'll be watching.
Like we need to continue making good stuff for them. That's kind of why like when I see people doing indie like cartoons, I get really excited because like it shows that people are still trying to make like good stuff for kids, and novels and manga and comics too.
For me, like I wouldn't be working on my novel if it wasn't for growing up with Tolkien and Star Wars. Like literally those two things are, and reading Harry Potter and reading, well, this was more of an adult book, but I probably was too young to read, Jurassic Park. Like
I always forget that those were books first.
Oh, and they are phenomenal. The two books are phenomenal. But yeah, like reading that stuff at such a young age, even reading like the young Boba Fett novels and stuff like that. Like I want to. That's why I'm writing now. That's why I'm working on this novel. That's a completely different idea, but it's still gonna have aspects of all the stuff that I enjoy. Even to the extent of like some of my characters have like these crazy insane anime powers, but it's in a pretty grounded world. But there's like a specific group that's basically based on the Akatsuki. You know, like so. I mean, but I wouldn't have any of these ideas to create this new thing if it wasn't for my imagination running wild with all the stuff I grew up with.
Right. Yeah, it's. I don't know.
I see what you're saying, though.
I'm running through a bunch of different thoughts in my head at the same time, and my brain is freezing up. I am going full Mitch McConnell here. I'm Mitch McConnell.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, like Drunk 3PO. There's another good one. A guy who's doing something like that. Like
amazing.
Yeah, I have his first book up on my shelf. I still need to read it because, dude, I pick up so much stuff. Like I have the fucking manga sandwich sitting right here right now because I was trying to catch up on my Kaiju #8 reading. But yeah, I mean, like what Jay did with his book. I mean, he wanted to write a kid's book. Cool thing. I haven't heard a single bad thing about it.
Neither have I.
To that point, I don't think I've ever heard a single bad thing about Jay.
Yeah, I have.
From
it's not
who?
true. None of it's true, but
I was about to say from who? A lying like idiot?
A lot of like basically just G&G detractors or people that just don't understand what Jay's doing or what type of person he is. I mean, I've spoken to Jay personally before. Like I can tell you right now, the person you see on his YouTube channel is exactly what he's like off of it.
Right. Yeah, no, like And as far as like, I feel like that again, that Achromatic Chronicles is a step in the right direction for like children's entertainment and all that. I feel like a lot of people, like I even found myself doing this to some extent, want to write like dark, heavy, like edgelord fiction. And I've done some of that stuff too. I think there's a place in any story for some of that darker, heavier storytelling. All of the cartoons we mentioned, there were still some darker, heavier moments in them, like even SpongeBob, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, there are episodes where he literally gets bullied by one of his idols.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do with. I'm trying to balance that right now, in my writing, because there's some stuff that's gonna happen that's gonna be like really crazy dark shit. I mean, it's gonna think about the progression of like Harry Potter, right? I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying I'm basing this on it in my own novel, but think about like the progression of, Sorcerer's Stone. It's him getting into the world, but it starts with him getting bullied by his family, right? And then he gets into the world and he's loving life and all this other stuff. And then it comes down to the ending of like eventually, you have the Goblet of Fire and you have like everything that happens with Sirius and the Prisoner of Azkaban before that. And then after Goblet of Fire, he's got to grow up and he's got to grow up quick. And, my character is not going to start as a 10-year-old, but he's not going to know the world the way that, things will eventually have to unfold. And when we get to that later part, he's going to be able to handle it, but he's still going to need the help from his crew, from his friends, stuff like that, in order to get over some of these world-changing events that are going to eventually happen.
Yeah, as far as like my own stuff goes, that whole thing I've been talking about with the Drink with Crazy has made me like kind of think about how I want to approach this first book series I'm working on. And I always wanted to like do something like the Japanese light novels that I love, like Re:Zero, like Song of Spider, So What. But it's made me think like, how do I make this to the point where like I could comfortably hand it off to like say my own kid, and let them read it while still having that sort of like element of maturity and like weight to it, because the whole story is kind of like a finding your place in the world kind of story.
Gotcha.
Like finding purpose in life, finding like your own little place to belong. That's pretty much what the story boils down to at its core. Which I think the whole isekai aesthetic of what I've been working on really fits that.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, like, there's going to have to be some things that have some weight to them, and like certain characters whose backstories will be dark. Like I have one character who, kind of goes through losing one of her children and all that, and like drives her crazy.
I got some characters very like not that exact thing, but I have some characters that are very similar to that, where they're gonna like there's once you get more into my world, you're gonna meet a lot of different characters, and a lot of those characters, depending on where they grew up, depending on what they are, depending on some of the characters with the powers and stuff, like there's gonna be some out there that are just straight up evil sons of bitches, and other ones that are misunderstood or in the middle, like your Itachis or your Datara, or your Zuko type characters. And then you're going to also have like just the good guys, the ones that went through shit and are still good. They still stuck to the path. And then other ones that are just happy-go-lucky all the time. But eventually, I might have a scene in there that's just like the freaking Red Wedding where a ton of main characters just get killed off.
Yeah, no, one of the where I was kind of going with this is that whole conversation prompted me to, I do want to make the current project I'm working on a little bit more accessible to like younger audiences. Maybe some of the later books will be like kind of heavier, and I'll save that stuff for like later in the series. But it also did prompt me to return to a like children's book project that I had sidelined a while back. Something where I just kind of wanted to write something like happy and
I've thought about
fun,
it as well.
something you could give to like, something I could give to like a middle schooler and be like, yeah, you could enjoy this.
Well, what's nice about the world that I'm creating currently is that you have place for some of the really messed up stuff. Like let me use Tolkien as an example. Like you have place for the main story, which let's say that's Lord of the Rings, right? And then you have more of a happy-go-lucky adventure story you could make in that world, like The Hobbit, or you can make a story like The Children of Hurin or Beren and Luthien, which is just a straight-up tragedy. But like because of the world that I have going on right now, I'm able to have the main story. But if I wanted to go for a story that's just dark, gritty, House of the Dragon level, like tons of crazy shit going on 24/7, I could do that. But I could also make a freaking children's book in that world as well and get away with it.
You know, I find myself like having an aversion to making my own stories have like dark, tragic endings. I do have a few projects that would kind of end that way, but generally, well, I like happy endings. I like the hero wins the girl at the end of the day kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoy
I just like having the option. You know, like if I wanted to in the world, I could make something like that.
Yeah. So like a lot of my stuff is probably going to end like that. Even like some of the darkest stories that I'll tell. I have one project that is like straight up. It is inspired by my love of Star Wars and Berserk.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if I can ever, get this thing off the ground, I'll have enough time or money to, get those projects in the works and start like properly producing those. For now, though, it's kind of a dream that I'll have to work towards. Either way, I do want to do all sorts of stuff. I want to do all kinds of different fiction. I don't want to just focus on like one age range. I want to make things for that, like you could, have a kid read, do something you could have a teen read, something you could have an adult read, and all of them enjoy it. Which, I mean, to be fair, there's plenty of indie authors and stuff out there. You can find all that kinds of stuff. I have tons of books laying around my room of all different age brackets. Like, here, this is one that I've been reading. Good story. And like, you could have a young adult read that. You could have like a teen read that. It's still kind of like dark and weighty. Like, I mean, one of the main characters is literally like a young girl sold into a brothel to pay off her father's debts.
Damn.
Who ends up getting saved by a corporate assassin.
Oh, you were telling me about this.
Yeah, dude. G-Sedai is cool. I actually really like it. And the author is like writing consultant. Like he has a whole business model about it. Cool guy, actually. Daniel Riley.
Never heard of him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not super big. Again, that's kind of one of the downsides of indies, which is, why I dedicate some of my time on my streams to talking about indies. Or like just like trying to like buy some of these projects. But yeah, it's great to see that like I'm not the only one with that kind of thing in mind. I mean, obviously we mentioned Jay's thing already, but you have books out there like you have Sherlock Hamster, you have Bad Kitty. There are all these things that people are making. It's just none of them are getting the kind of attention that I feel like they deserve.
Yeah.
So god damn it, go buy some indie shit. Go read some random dude's project, okay? Some of them are really, really freaking good, okay?
Like Kapoki in the chat here. Go check him out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I have the Killing Joke next to me and Die of a Wimpy Kid on top of it.
Okay. You want to talk about like literally up here I have like romance manga and stuff in the middle. Right next to like Fist of the North Star, I literally have Frieren next to Berserk. That's the kind of like shit that I read. It's hilarious. Frieren and Berserk are like polar opposites of fantasy.
Yeah. Gotta love it though.
I think the overall thing I wanted to talk about is we've gotten so skewed in entertainment. It's kind of like the heavy topic after all the memes and stuff earlier in the stream. We've gotten so skewed in our storytelling that we either want to tell like juvenile brain rot sort of stories, or we want to like be the edge lords we thought we were cool, or we thought were cool when we were growing up. And I think there's somewhere in between there where we need to start making things like that treat kids like they're not stupid, which is what like old cartoons did, and is actually still geared towards kids and not geared towards adults. Like X-Men 97, that was geared towards a certain generation that isn't like Gen Z.
Yeah, for sure.
Did I read the Harry Potter books? I have only ever watched the movies. Harry Potter was not my thing. I am not a bisexual Wiccan. I am a normal
books.
Yeah, well, you also read Tolkien, so that balances it out.
That's true.
There are two groups of people. You either read Tolkien and you became like a ultra conservative, like Christian good boy, or you read Harry Potter and you became a bisexual Wiccan. And for those random people who did both, well, you turn out like Rollo.
Word.
I would play the clip, but I think I've abused you enough with that tonight.
Hey guys. That fucking clip, dude. Shit.
Bro, I love trolling and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I think Harry Potter is actually a really good kind of like example, and you brought it up earlier. Like, you have something that starts off for kids, and as time goes on, it gets more and more mature.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Especially like to even like Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows is just and Order of the Phoenix is kind of a slog to get through. It's really good, but like you gotta be more mature to read Order of the Phoenix. Like I'm pretty sure I took a break after Goblet of Fire before I went on to Order of the Phoenix. Like, because I started reading Order of the Phoenix and then I was like, I'm gonna go back and read some more Tolkien again. And then like a year later I went back to Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, I think
it's the longest one. Order of the Phoenix is the longest one with I think.
Yeah, as far as this goes, I was like just a surface level nerd until I reached college. And then I actually found a whole lot of passion in writing and reading. And that's when I went like full autistic weeb and just like sank myself into anime and all that, because that was about the time. This was before I discovered, the culture war stuff, Nerdrotic, Friday Night Tights, all that.
Yeah.
But like I had been burned by The Last Jedi, and I'm like, God, like why do I feel like none of these movies really feel that great? And then I decided I was going to watch Dragon Ball. I'm like, holy shit, this slaps.
Yeah.
I like started going down the trail, and it was Naruto and One Punch Man and all that. I'm like,
dude, I think a lot of us, I think The Last Jedi was that point for so many people. Like, if you want to talk about patient zero, that was it.
Like, we had bad stuff up to that point, like Ghostbusters 2016. Like, that stuff had existed.
Yeah, but Last Jedi was the one that hit everybody.
That was the one that was the watershed moment. That was the one that everyone saw, like, they went mask off on.
Yep.
I think that was also the start of, like, the fan blaming with Rian Johnson, which really helped accelerate all of that into a culture war.
Pretty much. That's what I think that's around the time that like G&G started blowing up. Yeah, but Justice League wasn't out when Last Jedi was. Justice League wasn't around yet.
I don't remember when Justice League was. I remember not really liking Batman versus Superman. I thought the whole Martha thing was.
Oh, dude, I never liked.
Was autistic.
Everybody says that Ben Affleck was a great Batman. I highly disagree.
Hold on a second.
I highly disagree personally. I never got into the Snyderverse or any of that shit. I'm not a fan of Man of Steel. Not a fan of.
Look, I am biased. I have a soft spot in my heart for Man of Steel, and there's a specific story about it that I'm not going to tell on the internet because there's some sensitive information there. Maybe I'll say it backstage, but like, there's an interesting story about it. Either way, I'm okay with Man of Steel, even though I know it is an objectively shit movie. I mean, if you want to like absolute like Mahler level dissection of that movie, look up the guy Lumar. He did a whole video series about how awful that movie is.
Interesting. See, and then like RG says Ben Affleck was awful as Batman. Yeah, but like
I agree.
I agree too, but the consensus for a lot of fans were the minority there. A lot of people like him as Batman.
I also didn't like the way that Zack Snyder portrayed Batman, like using machine guns and all that stuff. I thought it was just...
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird. And, I mean, everyone likes to, like, slob on Zack Snyder's knob for some reason about all that stuff.
Not after Rebel Moon. Not after
Rebel Moon was a thing, dude.
It was a thing that was made.
It was one of the movies of all time, yes.
It was one of the movies, yeah. That movie was on a screen somewhere.
That movie was on a screen.
Yeah.
It just was.
Some people watched it.
I mostly watched Disparu and Nerdrotic review that. Anyway,
I mean,
yeah.
the Snyder cut.
Yeah, from what I heard about this, the pastor at the church I was going to at the time really loved the Snyder cut. But I think that the story I have to tell about the Snyderverse stuff might have influenced that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, maybe some people at the time and still are just don't like to think about their entertainment. Like, look, I get it. I mean, I've just worked 6 weeks with almost no breaks, and I have come home and wanted to watch something that is just absolutely like I don't have to sit and think about. Like something that's just like gonna be just pure fun entertainment kind of stuff. Or read something like that. I get it. Sometimes you need that. But not everything has to be like that. I feel like a lot of the stuff that Zack Snyder makes isn't that kind of entertainment.
No.
It is not going to be the Konosuba, My Ordinary Life kind of slapstick stuff, not the SpongeBob kind of stuff. What he tries to make is proper, like the Winter Soldier type storytelling, but he fails.
I mean, he was good with Watchmen and 300.
I actually liked 300, yes.
300, the first one. Don't watch the second one. That doesn't make any sense.
I was about to say, isn't that the one about like Athens and the battle on the ocean? Or in the Mediterranean?
The one that's called 300, but all the 300 are dead. Yeah. It's just about his wife and Xerxes, basically.
Yay, fun stuff.
Yeah, see, Watchmen was good. That's what Snyder excels at.
Yeah,
unless it's Rebel Moon, that's shit.
Anyway, I feel like there's another good thing like that you can like sit down and like enjoy with your kids and still enjoy as an adult. Like Marvel through Phase 3. Once you get to Endgame, don't do anything else after that. Yeah. But like the Marvel movies, they're like, look, I will argue to the death that the best Marvel ever got was Winter Soldier. Okay, that movie is just peak. It is peak superhero fiction right there.
It's pretty solid. I like Captain America: The First Avenger a lot.
That one was good. Yeah,
I wish they did more movies of him in World War II, but they did the one story. How's that a hot take?
Probably because the Dark Knight trilogy exists.
Well,
I said it's peak superhero fiction.
Oh, well,
And I do love my my Dark Knight trilogy that I have up
I'll
on
be
my
right
shelf
there.
right now. But look, if I'm going to be objectively honest about it, I think Winter Soldier is just absolutely one of the most fantastic examples of storytelling in the MCU. And maybe that's just because I like more thematic stories. That's why I love shows like Freerin. But I don't know. I can't escape it, dude. I love the Winter Soldier way more than any other Marvel movie, and I could go back and just watch that movie on a loop. In fact, you know what? I may just do that. I may do that, but not tomorrow. Infinity War, yeah. Look, I can respect the Infinity War pick, but I don't know. As far as Infinity War goes, I feel like it did really well for what it was doing, like trying to take on so many different storylines at once with so many different characters and like blend them all together. It was good. It's an absolute like I think the MCU should go down like through phase 3 through Endgame should go down as like one of the greatest feats in cinema history, right next to the Lord of the Rings adaptations by Peter Jackson. It's just insane. I'm talking about how I think the work that went into the storytelling of the MCU is of a similar magnitude of magnificent to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Pretty close.
And Star Wars and Indiana Jones, like those are like just some of like the of our like generation. I think the MCU is probably the best example of just absolute masterclass work of cinema storytelling.
Pirates 1, 2, and 3 is also up there.
I haven't watched those near enough.
Yeah, I mean, not because I'm a massive fan of those, but like Pirates 1, 2, and 3 definitely up there. Yeah, and if it did, what do you mean if you think about it? It did all start with Iron Man, and like Iron Man on its own, they never thought he wasn't an insanely popular character, like until he was made that by Jon Favreau.
The MCU made the Avengers household names.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I had like not even being a nerd, I had heard of Captain America and I had heard of Iron Man and the Hulk and all that as a kid. But like they were secondary to me. Like I didn't care about Marvel. What I wanted was Batman and Superman. That's what I wanted. And then the MCU comes around and I'm like, holy shit, this Captain America guy is kind of cool. Like he's fucking rad.
Yeah, he's pretty sick.
And then like I got into the MCU and I'm sitting there like, holy, this is why did I never pay attention to this stuff? And unfortunately, I still didn't do much reading. I tried to get into comic books when I was like learning, and I was like 16, and I quickly realized that it was way too much work to figure out where I was supposed to start or what was even like good fiction. Yeah. And then 3 years later, I started reading My Hero Academia.
I actually think peak superhero on screen, Spider-Man 1 and 2. Spider-Man 2 is by far the best superhero adaptation.
Okay, yeah, those are pretty good movies.
Spider-Man 2 is the best on-screen adaptation of any superhero, with right under there being Superman Returns.
I'm still gonna stick with Winter Soldier being probably my favorite superhero movie. I'm gonna stick with it, saying that it is the best superhero movie.
I'm cool with that.
Like the single best superhero movie, but dude, those Spider-Man movies, they're a close contender. I completely forgot that they were a thing. How did I forget that those were a thing?
Yes. Spider-Man 3 is the shit only for Bully Maguire.
Bully Maguire. I fucking love that meme.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. Little Goblin Jr., you're gonna cry? We already talked about The Dark Knight. Did you miss that? Goober? The Dark Knight's up there, but it's not comic book Batman at all.
I think my issue with it is that as far as The Dark Knight goes, Christian Bale was not the greatest Batman. He's a fantastic Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
I just don't think he really gave me the Batman vibes. I love those movies. I love those movies. I love those movies. Okay. But
here's the thing. Do you love those movies as much without The Dark Knight?
I don't care. I don't care so much about The Dark Knight Rises, but I feel like Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
I'm still on Batman Begins, and I'm on Rises, but The Dark Knight itself is the banger.
I was gonna say if you take out The Dark Knight, the trilogy is just not as good. I still love Batman Begins, but like you are correct, The Dark Knight is
what made it. That's what made me go and watch that movie over and over again. Like when you go back to watch that trilogy, you watch The Dark Knight more than anything else. That's the one that is most rewatched by people, and that's strictly because of Heath Ledger and the way that they did the Joker and the way that their rivalry is between the Joker and Batman throughout that, as well as the detective aspect, because Batman's the best detective in the world. At the end of the day, that's what he is.
Yes.
So,
which again, I want to repeat something that I said with RG when we did the Batman stream. Batman needs to stay a detective, not a superhero. Yes. He's a crime fighter. Please, just keep it that way.
Agreed.
Fuck you, okay? How about you take your brain damaged ass and go fix it, okay? This is a friend of mine in real life, by the way. So
wow, really, Kapoki? Kapoki said you watched The Dark Knight for the first time about 3 months ago.
Well, at least he watched it. Look, you could be Craig from the Side Scrollers and never have watched any of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Dude.
Or the Star Wars movies.
And he didn't even watch the extendeds. I'm like, yo, to anybody who has the opportunity to watch Lord of the Rings and you don't watch the extended editions, what are you doing? And if your excuse is that they're too long, you have a pause button. And they're on streaming. So you can pause it and go 3 days and then go back and watch another hour of it if you want to. But you are literally just missing out on the true beauty of those movies if you don't watch the extended.
I watched Return of the King with my dad. It wasn't even the extended version. Dude, the Charge of the Rohirrim. You want to talk about a scene that just sends chills down your spine? There are very few times where you actually feel like the motivation of the speaker. That is one of them.
Kapoki, what are you doing to me, dude?
You are my brother, Anakin.
He doesn't even know what that means. That is another scene. The Charge of the Rohirrim and that.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
I know, I can tell. But yeah, RG's right. People will watch 1,000 episodes of One Piece, but then say Lord of the Rings is too long. That's 100% true. That is 100% true.
They'll watch 700 episodes of Naruto. 300 episodes of Dragon Ball. That takes way longer than watching.
Yeah, RG for Frodo, man. That's another one. That's another. That's the beauty of Lord of the Rings, though. There's so many scenes like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many, you
want to talk about okay. In my mind, there are 2 scenes that are absolutely just out of my things that like I really like I could listen to for inspiration. One, Commander Ervin's speech from Attack on Titan season 3.
Oh, yes.
You want to talk about something that is like workout motivation? It doesn't matter what the fuck you're gonna do.
Dude,
You
I don't
listen
care
to
if you're
that,
gonna
all
go
of
mow
a
your
sudden,
lawn. Like, were
My
their lives
focus
meaningless?
rage!
No, dude, when he goes, were their lives meaningless? They were not. Yo, I will agree with Lane Mickelson, though. Red versus Blue is a god tier show up till season 10.
And then what I was gonna say is the other scene that absolutely gets me going is that Lord of the Rings speech where they're out there like getting ready to charge the orcs, the army at Minas Tirith.
Yeah, dude, when it'll be a sword day, a red day, and the sun rises, and the ching, 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 ching.
This man knows what he's talking about because Erwin is the best freaking character in the series.
Yes. That's also another great scene too, when Gandalf pulls up and you just hear the voiceover of Gandalf, and he's like, on the 5th day at dawn, like, you know, and he just, or 3rd day or something like that. You're making me want to go watch Lord of the Rings right now, dude.
Bro, I need to go back and watch the extended editions again.
Yes. Yes, you do.
I need a refresher, especially like I need to go through all things Lord of the Rings before War of the Rohirrim comes out because I am definitely doing a review of War of the Rohirrim. I am doing a whole stream talking about that because
I'll be on it with you 100% if you want me.
Like, okay, where are our characters like Erwin and Gandalf and like
They don't exist
Theoden?
anymore,
Where are all those characters who just say like the simplest things and you get chills and you feel inspired?
Theoden has one of the best lines and acting scenes, multiple, but him and Ian McKellen are the best actors, and obviously Sir Christopher Lee, rest in peace. Same with Bernard Hill, rest in peace.
You will never be as cool as Christopher Lee. Just accept it.
Nobody will ever be as cool as Christopher Lee. But Bernard Hill, man, his acting performance is so on point throughout The Two Towers and Return of the King. And when he first awakens from the spell that he's under, and the first thing he goes, "Where's Theodred? Where's my son?" He had no idea that his son was already killed. And then he's got the acting through the right there with the funeral, and Gandalf standing out there with him at the end, and he's like, "No father should ever have to bury their child." Dude, the amount of work that went into that acting right there with that delivery of that line, peak. Dude, it hits you. It hit me, and I'm not even a father, dude. And I'm like 10 years old watching this. Good night, Lane.
See ya.
I'm like literally freaking.
One of these days, I will make it back to our Magic nights, and we'll have a couple of games together.
So, yeah, dude,
But yeah, I mean, to this really quick, I need to read Kingdom if I want great speeches. Look, I know that Kingdom happens to be one of like the greatest mangas ever written. It's very highly appreciated. I have a friend who is very insistent on the fact that I need to watch the anime. So it's on there. It's on the list. It's definitely something I know I need to get into.
There you go.
Like I want more of those characters. Like where is just like the badass, like before the battle speech kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, Roman, watch more Attack on Titan so you can freaking get to Erwin's speech, you fool.
Has he not? I thought he finished season 3.
No.
Fuck, I wouldn't have mentioned it knowing he was in the chat then.
Yeah, but he doesn't even. I've been talking about Erwin's speech for like the entire time that we've been on our show.
He needs to finish Attack on Titan so that we can just do like a whole like Attack on Titan dedicated stream like we did with Batman. Because there's so much to talk about on that show.
No, RG, that's when the beacons of the beacon of Amu D, when Denethor won't call for aid from Rohan. And earlier throughout the movie in Return of the King, you have Théoden saying, well, where was Rohan when the Westfold fell? Where was Rohan when we were
Gondor.
Or Gondor, yeah. Where was Gondor when the Westfold fell? Where was Gondor when our men and women women and children were being killed by Saruman's forces or whatever? And you have this whole thing of like how they don't want to go and help Gondor, and Pippin and Gandalf. Well, Gandalf tells Pippin to go up there and light the beacon, and Aragorn's standing out there smoking a pipe, and he sees the beacon get lit because they have to travel, right? The beacons go across Middle Earth, and like then all of a sudden the mountain that he's looking at just a little fire at the top, and he's like, "Shit!" And he runs up, he bursts through the doors into the hall. Gondor calls for aid, and it's quiet.
The beacons are lit. The beacons of Minas Tirith are lit. Gondor calls for aid.
And Rohan will answer. Yeah, dude, it's so good. Muster the Rohirrim. That's what he says. And Rohan shall answer. Muster the Rohirrim. And then they're all like, all right, let's go. Like, hell yeah, dude.
Bro. I have so much I want to go, like, just rewatch, reread, the new things I need to read.
Oh, dude, we got to we're doing that Lord of the Rings deep dive at some point.
Oh, yeah, no, we're definitely doing that. I want to get a bunch of the other guys on here, too.
Okay, he's on season 3, episode 2.
You've hardly even started season 3, which, look, I get it. It's like, I think season 3's opening was probably the point at which I felt the least interested in the story.
Where are they at that point?
That
before
they
Charles?
just retrieved Aaron. It was one of my favorite Erevin moments. The advance, goddamn you moment.
Yeah.
Did he got past that, which is one of my favorite
advance,
fucking Erevin
goddamn you.
I said advance. Aaron Yeager is right before you. Advance, goddamn you.
Is that when Chomp?
Yeah, dude. And J. Michael Tatum as the English voice of Erevin.
So good. I prefer Erevin in dub 100%. He's another one. He's another one I prefer in dub. Madara and Erevin.
Yeah. Also, J. Michael Tatum, he is in the English dub of Black Clover. He's Fuegoleon.
Yeah, he's Fuegoleon.
And he's also the main character in Spice and Wolf, which is another good series, but it's all like sort of like economic stuff. It's not.
Yeah, the first time I actually heard him was Fuegoleon because I didn't watch Attack on Titan yet.
I was talking with Dog about the guy who voices Erevin, because he watched Black Clover.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like,
Dog did watch Black Clover. Forgot about that.
And we were talking like that dude is like so much like
Chad
power in his voice.
Bad energy, dude. Oh yeah. Jiraiya's dub actor is also really good.
Dude. Actually, look. I will say this. I love a lot of Naruto's like the adult male character dubs, like Kakashi. The third Hokage.
Yep.
Madara Uchiha. Itachi's good. I don't personally care for Naruto's voice. Like, I get why they did it that way. I feel like Sasuke's voice acting is just kind of lame. But, dude, it has so many fucking killer voices with Kakashi. Almighty. Push.
This world shall know pain. So good, dude. So good, dude. Even like Orochimaru's creepy ass has a great dub voice.
All right, this man's gonna have to fucking show me this. I gotta hear this.
Yeah, now I want to see that. Dude, what about I love the one line in that Ervin says, you'll know exactly because we were talking kind of about it. Roman, you'll get to it soon, but just assassinate the son of a bitch. Like, oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good. And he's like, and assassinate the son of a bitch. It's like, oh, I freaking love it. Yeah, I know, that is wild. Steve Blum is Orochimaru.
Dude, look.
He's also solid.
I look, we talked about it earlier, but now that we're getting all the way back to it, the moment when Toby's voice changed was one of the most mind-blowing, insane moments in Naruto.
Yeah,
Not
like,
because I didn't see it coming, but because I had made a joke about Toby being the big bad villain of the series. And at that moment, I realized, holy fuck, I was right. The thing is, though, they actually, there's like one like small little snippet at the end of an episode that you can easily skip where he shows his whole hand by accident.
Yeah.
And there's also an accidental premature reveal of the Rinnegan on Madara's behalf.
That's true.
There's a few frames of animation during his like initial appearance where he actually has the Rinnegan instead of the Sharingan.
That's true. Shit, man.
It was in a filler arc.
I mean, not really.
Are we talking about the Three Tails? Because that's where it happens. Like they're watching the whole Three Tails thing happen, and like at one point in there, like Toby just completely changes his personality and voice, and it's like the weirdest shit ever. I'm like, I didn't realize that the first time I watched through here. How did I miss that?
Yeah. I think that is Three Tails.
Look, all I needed to know was Sasuke fights a velociraptor, turns into a tree, and Naruto is fucking gone.
Sasuke's a fucking tree. He's just like, bruh.
I cannot understand for the life of me why people think Boruto is good. It is ass, dude. It is awful.
Dude, he's a tree. He's a tree. And he doesn't even like, it's not even like it's a tree with his face on it, like a weirwood from like Game of Thrones or nothing. It's literally just like his arm and his head hanging out of a tree. It's so freaking stupid.
Or how about like the whole like ninja tech? Like apparently the Sharingan doesn't work if you replace your eyes with cameras.
Well, that would make sense. Right? That would make sense. They're not real eyes.
It is like as stupid as the fucking like Bleach moment where Mask the Masculine like gouges out his eardrums in order to get past a Bankai.
Yeah, it doesn't work though. I mean, it does and it doesn't.
Shit, man, dude.
I mean, that makes more sense to me because if you can't hear nothing, then
yeah, that one makes sense. I still think it's kind of sucks that you have like this captain who like never does anything, and the one time he uses his Bankai, he gets countered by some retard who just pokes his eardrums out.
Yeah, Toribayashi does get clapped in that part. He gets clapped. He gets clapped all the time, though. Like, when they're fighting Aizen, clapped.
He is the captain of the fodder squad. That's what he is.
Pretty much. Yo, but you just wait. My boy Izuru gets done dirty, but doesn't get done dirty.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to be finishing Blood War because it's been the most interesting part of the whole series to me. And Kubo still has not shit the bed like Kishimoto did.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, but as far as like manga goes, I mean, have you seen the Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers going around lately? Fuck, I can't say anything. Either way, the next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen might be some of the most insane shit in shonen.
That's what people keep saying. I went to the freaking vape shop the other day and my dude was talking about it. He's like, "Are you caught up on Jujutsu?" I was like, "Nah, dude, I gotta read it." He's like, "Shit, it's about to get wild."
Yeah, dude. I've just some of the memes that have come out of it, dude. I wish I could show you, but there'd be such like fucking insane spoilers.
I know Gojo comes back just looking like a fucking G.
The thing is, though, we don't know if it's Gojo.
I have
Because it's literally like at the end of the chapter and it looks like Gojo, but we don't. It could be someone else. It could be like, I think the character is Kashimo, technically. Okay. Honestly, I am 100% convinced it's a fake out.
Interesting.
But yeah, that is all I can say.
I need to read. When I finish the last like 75 pages of the Silmarillion, I'll get onto it.
Like I really, really, really want it to be Gojo so that Gojo can fucking clap Sukuna back. But knowing Gege and how much he dislikes Gojo, I do not think it's going to be Gojo.
Oh shit.
Feeling tired?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, then. Probably about time we wrap it up. And this is where I'm going to bring up the 2 indie comic projects that I did want to cover tonight. We just kind of got talking about anime and decided we'd roll with it and just save it till the end and make it the last thing. So we talked a whole lot about shonen stuff. So I'm going to bring up a comic that the first one is a comic that absolutely gives me fucking shonen vibes. Now this is Battle Chronicles Soul Striker. And I mean, just right off the bat.
That looks sick.
Yeah. So they actually have a full-on trailer for it, if this will play.
No, let's watch it.
That's loud. Yeah, I was like geeking out about this on a live stream when we were. Like, I love the artwork to this one. Like just the like amount of detail and color that goes into all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like the hat. So yeah, I mean that's a trailer. You can go scroll down through here, and these are all the covers. Sick. So I think this is cover A. I think this is the one I got. Like that one just looks freaking sick. Or was it this one? One of them. Either way, they have a bunch of different covers. They have their metallic covers too, which are like really expensive, like collector's editions kind of stuff. That look fucking sick.
I like the one with The guy and the girl on it.
This one?
That one.
Yeah.
That one's sick.
Mm-hmm. Where there's that. Yeah, and then you start getting down into like all of like the specialty things that are going to cost like where is it? Yeah. So
the holographic version of it looks pretty dope.
Where are they? It's the apparel set. Yeah, so here's the metal covers. They're expensive as fuck. But yeah, that is basically like the shonen as fuck indie comic that I absolutely just had to get in on because it's the kind of stuff I love. And then there was another one that I had, which is like mystery, suspense, horror, a little bit of action. Fuck, I pressed the wrong button. And this is Spectrus and Sabanian, which is, well, ancient Egyptian curses, a callback to some of the old like classic horror monsters and some fun stuff. I don't want to tempt fate by playing too many trailers in one night. So I'm just going to quickly scroll down through this because it is the air conditioning at my house is broken. It is hot in here with all the lights on and with no air circulation whatsoever.
Damn.
Yeah. So where is? Oh yeah, that's a cover.
Damn.
That's a cover. That's actual artwork from the inside of the book, I think. They have like tarot card covers. Yeah, there we go.
That's sick.
Yeah. And this is the campaign for issue 5. There is a catch-up tier there's a digital catch-up tier where you can get all of the parts of the story so far, as well as I believe there's a physical, print catch-up edition for $50. You can get all of them, which $10
That's a great deal.
off is a great fucking deal. And issue 0, so technically it's less than $10 an issue. And from what I've seen, I believe this is like 50 something pages, if I'm not mistaken. Supernatural horror story about Anexi, the ghost of Cleopatra's top assassin. Anexi died defending Cleopatra against the Romans and has lived as a ghost for centuries. Over time, she's learned to rejoin the world of the living. She is at the cusp of finding purpose in the modern world of the living, but she is bound by an ancient curse to a demon named Sabanian. As Anexi pushes more into the world of the living, she must drag Sabanian with her. Sabanian is a wrath demon capable of incredible destruction. Let's just say he complicates things.
I like it.
So yeah, I mean, I was on Comic Shop Wednesday with A Drink with Crazy, and those were the two comics that two of the projects that we were talking about for the night. Great stream for like indie novels and like novels, indie projects, all that sorts of stuff. It covers a lot of that. It's really fun. There was one where me and Mage Leader basically just drove the poor dude crazy, bouncing jokes off each other to the point where it is now like something he dreads. It's like, you think he's last week it was, you think he's bad enough on his own, wait until you put him in a room with Mage Leader. The two are unstoppable. But it was fun. And those were the two projects that really stood out to me for the night, and I want to talk about them here because we had that whole long conversation about, like getting to the point where we can have fiction that everyone can enjoy and all that, things that are just fun. Again, all the indie stuff. I like to support the little guys. I like to find indie projects because, again, you never know where your next favorite story is going to come from. You never know where your next favorite read or show or whatever is going to be.
Oh, I would absolutely like to eventually turn what I'm writing into a graphic novel too, just to put like art to the characters and page and give people a visual of like, well, the cover will have visuals on it, but eventually when I get to that point. But I would love to eventually make it into a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Shadow the Conqueror type thing, where it's like one thick graphic novel.
I don't think he has the whole book in one graphic novel.
No, it's like
the first 2 chapters or something that he's got in there.
Maybe, but still.
Either way, I think that is a good place to wrap it up. So, without further ado, everyone who's here, you obviously already know where to find me. I'm here on Crimson Law doing my videos. I do have another channel called Crimson Chaos that I will be I'm working on moving most of my live streaming stuff to, because keeping those things separate is apparently really good for your channel. So yeah, that's the thing I'm doing. I'm also going to post some other stuff over there that isn't quite anime related. And you can find me on Twitter at Isaac Hendren. You can go follow me and watch me get into fights on the fucking internet, because I can't help but get involved in other people's bullshit. It's just a thing I do. I also post a lot of my memes and clips of other streamers and YouTubers there. So
yeah,
you can find some really good dirt on people.
Yeah.
But where can they find you, Rolo?
You guys can find me on, at Rolo Films on Rolo_films on Instagram, but on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I'm Rolo Lord, and then Grand Admiral Rolo, whatever. That's also do the same things on Twitter over there. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into my edits as well. Like, I have some pretty good ideas for anime edits that I want to post up there on Rolo Films and put them back on Twitter as well. And other than that, you can catch me as the co-host on the Rolo Romecast on RG Energy's channel every week. We used to do it every single Wednesday, but schedules are changing for both of us. So we will have a show every week, just trying to make it work. And yeah, other than that, you can find me back here, and I'm working on getting my own channel going soon, because I really, really want to be talking about House of the Dragon, as well as destroying the Acolyte when it comes out, or on the off chance it's good, talking about that. And I say on the off chance, but
you have no faith that it's going to be good.
I don't at all. But also, I will be talking about and watching all of Rings of Power through gritted teeth. So, also my Halo.
Too bad you're sober now, right? Because that would be the kind of show you would drink your way through.
Yeah, it would. But yeah, I'm also going to be working on an expose about why Halo Season 1 and 2 are horrible.
Do it.
So, yes, I will put all of my Halo knowledge into that. So,
all right. With that said, we are going to wrap the show. Thank you, everyone who joined and listened to RG, to JM, to Lane, to Kapoki, and to all the people who lurked in the background, because there were more than just those who showed up.
Yes.
I appreciate all of you. I think you're all wonderful people. And
basically, if you don't have a penis, don't hit on me.
Because everyone is asking, we're going to tell you. Yes, I have sex with my husband.
Incest is wincest, I guess.